Okay guys, we're going to talk a little hamstring mobility today and posterior chain, which is essentially my entire backside, okay? But we're going to focus on glutes and hamstrings for this piece. So the first piece is called smashing. I know it doesn't sound super inviting, but it will make a significant difference. When you're doing this mobility, you do always want to start with a test so you can retest when you're done and make sure that it's working for you. So a simple one is just bending over and touching your toes if you can get there, being aware of how far I can reach and where I feel the tension in my hamstrings. So right now it's hard for me to get the palms of my hands to the floor. That would be my first test. So smashing number one is going to be taking either the ball or this gnarly little device or the barbell that we're going to show momentarily, all part of the hamstring smash. What I'm looking for here is placing the ball right at the upper insertion point of my hamstring, which is right where your hamstring and the bottom of your butt cheek meet. So I'm going to sit the ball there and then sit on a box that will get my feet off the ground. So I want to sit out on the edge far enough so that my leg is sitting at a 90, or at least my ankle is under my knee, okay? So I'm putting as much weight as I can handle onto the ball, and then I'm opening my leg up into full extension, okay? And then pulling it back into flexion. And you will know when you're in the right area because you will feel a little significant amount of pain. If you're not in the right area, just shimmy around on the ball until you find the right spot that kind of makes one eye close and makes you make a funny face. That's how you know you're there. So if the ball is not enough and you need to get in there a little gnarlier, this little device is really great for this position. I can sit on it, and these little knobby pieces really get into the muscle fibers and the connective tissues a little better, so it gets deeper. So if you need some deeper tissue release inside there, same thing, smashing as much pressure as I can, extending in full extension, and then back into flexion at the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to spend 2 to 3 minutes on each side doing that. Okay, so 2 to 3 minutes on my right leg, 2 to 3 minutes on my left leg. The other option to that smashing would be utilizing a barbell. So I'm going to same thing, sit at that top insertion point and go into flexion and extension through the leg. Okay, 2 minutes here. You can work all the way down the hamstring so you get deeper into the belly of the hamstring and not just the insertion point. So that's another option on the barbell. Next, we're going to talk about flossing. Flossing is done with a band. So I typically want this band at about my hip height. Okay, I just have it a little lower here because of the J cup. But you're going to step in with one leg, pull it up comfortably into what we call the CR, or the crotchal region. Step away till you feel some good tension on the band, and then we're going to bend over into a toe touch. If you can't touch the floor, I recommend getting a box or a bumper plate to sit here so you have something to support on. I'm going to drive my knee forward, actually over my toe, into flexion through my knee and my hip, and then I'm going to drive my hip and butt straight up towards the ceiling, okay, into full extension through my leg to really stretch out that hamstring. So I'm driving that up. So flossing is just back and forth. I'm not staying in either position for any amount of time, just driving forward, pushing straight up. Okay, doing 10 to 20 of these on each leg, and that is how you'll floss the posterior chain or the hamstring.